Whilst the focus was largely on the conditions of the road, the Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Dr. Issa Toure, responded to the requests of the people of Sandu by revealing plans to upgrade the Bajahakunda and Yorubawal health facilities to major health centers equipped with resident doctors and drugs. He, however, challenged the local communities to send their daughters to school to provide personnel required to serve as midwives. This followed an outcry from this large Sarawale community who are averse to the practice of having men serve as midwives based on socio-cultural and religious considerations. To further entice parents to enroll their daughters in school, the Minister of Basic and Secondary Education, Claudia Nicole, said government will provide 500 scholarships to outstanding students to study in specialized areas at the University of the Gambia and challenge the communities of Wuli and Sandu to rise up to the challenge. In a region dominated by agriculture, Minister Lamin Dambudiba unveiled government strategy to encourage farmers to engage in integrated agriculture with focus on commercialization and livestock production. He said government will build modern gardens supplied with boreholes to boost vegetable production, and in the future will engage district and village authorities to allocate designated cattle grazing grounds. This, he argued, is necessary to maintain a balanced ecosystem which caters for the needs of all stakeholders. The President capped off his engagements, once again firing salvos at the deposed regime of former President Jammeh. He told Gambians that the country has entered a new chapter which is irreversible despite what he described as wishful thinking on the part of the former President and his small clique of followers who are still working to undermine the new administration. President Barrow can hard work, saying that the possibility of a resurgence of the former President is next to zero, as they have been flatly rejected by Gambians whose 2 years of misrule and exploitation. The President later crossed back to Basse after a long day of meetings, which have once again rekindled hopes amongst the people of Sandu and Wole. The new era of development and progress is unfolding. Mamadou Diallo, GRTS News.
Meanwhile, President Adama Barrow continues his dialogue with Duterte in the Central River and Lower River regions with meetings in Bansang, Bikamaba, Jareng, Bureng, Japine and Somo respectively. The Gambian leadership dialogue meeting with the farming community availed him the opportunity to listen to concerns by various communities and find means of addressing them. Suma reports.
The Lower River regions farming communities of Bansang, Brikamaba, Jareng, Bureng, Chapine and Soma Sunday had an interview with the Gambian leader as part of his nationwide dialogue with the People's Store. The platform, which centered on development challenges, was used by dwellers to mention agricultural upgrading, potable water and motorable roads amongst others as their immediate concerns. Resulting of this, according to various speakers, will immensely mitigate food insecurity and rural poverty. Responding to the plight of the people of CRR and LRR, the Gambian leader and cabinet ministers briefly outlined plans and projects of their ministries, and as well as the National Development Plan, which seeks to bring transformational development to the doorsteps of every Gambian. On the issues of internal security, President Barrow strongly emphasized the need for Gambians to respect and cooperate with the police to judiciously execute their functions, while urging people to withhold pending land cases until a special commission on lands is instituted.
The more advice, nim police will tell sometimes, you can have more arrest la, more kafunti ka balonke, nata yo balanko esalon ka for yelu waletinya, and the lua member no jang kunum, lua kili wole bijang, sembo member je kunum, was sembe kili wole bijang, but until man la fi sembo nyintala, nara matani luara. But femfe me alon ko lualo, nyanta femfe lala jemba sembo nyi lala jele, andu mataman lal fana.
Suma Jadama reporting for GRTS News.
Moving on, the Vice President and Minister for Women's Affairs, Usenu Dabo, on Monday received an audience of lady councillors from the Kanifing municipality who paid a courtesy call on him at State House. Ibrahim Sane has more.
Municipality. Speaking to GRTS shortly after meeting the Vice President, the Lady Councillor, who doubles as the focal person of Lady Councillors Bintambi Sanyang Sonko, said their visit to the Vice Presidency is of paramount importance.
Most of our problems that we discuss is women's issue and our plans. We have enlightened so many things concerning women's development.
According to Madam Sanyang, some numerous challenges like mobility and access to land and microfinance for women entrepreneurs in the municipality were discussed.
In KMC, particularly because I'm from KMC, the most difficult problem is our issue of land, because our women want to participate mostly in gardening. So at least we can have our own microfinance institution whereby we can help our women.
She made an appeal to the concerned authorities to allocate salaries for lady councillors. She also lamented on the small amount of $1,000 allocated to them for every 3 months. The lady councillors reaffirmed their commitment to support the Gambia government in their strive to develop the country. Ibrahim N. Sane, GRTS News.
Yes. For moving on, the National Assembly Select Committee on Health on Monday engaged officials of the Ministry of Health and Social Welfare to discuss inroads made and challenges in the sector. The legislative session was also attended by personnel of the UN system as crucial stakeholders. Madid Badi has the rest of the story.
Discussions that emanated from today's sessions further highlighted the sector's numerous challenges. These, according to officials, would require effective intervention for enhanced service delivery.
Healthcare delivery is a daunting challenge. There is no doubt we have challenges. This includes challenges relating to human resources for health. When it comes to other forms of resources like equipment and drugs, no government in the sub-region can claim that the government is able to provide healthcare as per the needs of the population.
Officials of the ministries say significant strides have been registered. However, there has been a steady rise on non-communicable diseases which continue to strain the sector's meager human and financial resources.
There has to be innovative ways of financing healthcare. Like out-of-pocket expenses on health is very, very high. It's about 20-something%, which is not sustainable. So we have to have, like I said, alternative financing mechanisms. A health insurance, for example, it's been talked about now. Now we are working very hard, and we are still doing some consultation, although we are yet to have any concrete guarantee or support anywhere that the government will go that way.
The National Assembly, as an oversight body, is committed to ensuring a vibrant health sector where every Gambian is catered for, particularly the most. The sector's health woes would require joint action by government as well as stakeholders. The WHO has been a crucial partner in strengthening our structures.
We are very happy to participate in these deliberations, which actually highlighted the major obstacles that the health sector is facing. And currently we are doing actually together with partners from UN and USAID, the UNICEF, WHO, the Global Fund, the World Bank, together with the Ministry of Health, we are conducting a nationwide assessment of the health sector challenge, and this is expected to be finalized by end of August, and inform that needs to be taken to rectify the challenges that we are facing currently.
The country's health sector, according to officials, is overburdened. Constant consultations with the National Assembly is envisaged to provide the sector the necessary boost. For the news, I am Madeline Baji.
The Gambia Revenue Authority Cooperative Credit Union on Saturday held its annual general meeting at a lodge. The AGM Forum Bajiari is part of the Cooperative Societies Act to prepare a financial statement each year. Fatu Elika Mulusi tells us more.
Gambia Revenue Authority Cooperative Union held its first general annual meeting for the year 2017-2018 at a local hotel in the meeting, as highlighted by officials, is meant to select suitable accounting policies meant to apply greater consistency to strengthen the union's investment reserve. Speaking at the occasion, the chairman of the Board of Directors, Marisar, said it is the mandate of the board to recommend payment of dividends on shares and interests on the savings of all board directors.
Services to our members is a priority. We must also assure our members that their hard-earned savings are not only managed in their best interests but are well secured.
The Commissioner General equally highlighted the need for the board to actively participate in the promotion of savings and the granting of loans to members in accordance with the Cooperative Societies Act.
I challenge the incoming Board of Directors to raise the flag of the Union to higher heights, given that the outgoing board has already paved the way for a smooth transition and business continuity.
For the day-long meeting, members elected new representatives who will run the union's affairs for the next 3 years. For the past 3 years, the Gambia Revenue Authority Cooperative Credit Union has continued to register steady progress with its net asset and membership portfolio, recording significant growth in the year 2015-2016. Representatives who will run the union's affairs for the next 3 years. For the past 3 years, the Gambia Revenue Authority Cooperative Credit Union has continued to register steady progress with its net asset and membership portfolio, recording significant growth in the year 2015-2016. For GRTS News, I am Fatu Eli Kamulu.
The Gambia Armed Forces on Monday graduated its third batch of engineering corps. Topics covered during the forum include squad drills. The graduates, as Senator Bujan reports, hail from the GAF, engineers and defense platoon sectors.
Colorful, exciting and eventful, the graduation of the third cadre of engineers of the Gambia Armed Forces brought together senior military officials and multitudes of army officers. The third cadre of engineers completed an intensive program of different topics, including drill and duty procedures, as well as administrational and engineering modules for a period of 3 months. The course was meant to build individual capacities of soldiers in their respective specializations and inculcate greater professionalism within the armed forces. The soldiers are now qualified unit instructors who can contribute immensely towards the continuation of capacity building in their various departments. In a move to enhance gender parity, a host of female soldiers have also been included and trained as instructors in the squad. Here, participants demonstrate the knowledge and expertise acquired in the course.
This is the third batch that we have been doing this within our unit, trying to teach courses so that at least they'll be able to understand and know certain areas, even not their areas. Some are electricians or carpenters, but other areas also, they are taught how to do the other areas also.
Nima Kamara conducted a special presentation highlighting the manner of fraternization in the army and how one should conduct themselves within fields requiring unwavering discipline at all times.
Some will even take their girlfriend as a orderly or something like that. And discipline also now is somehow lacking. The training is fantastic.
Brigadier General Alaji Martins delivers awards and certificates to the graduates. Here, Private Bakari Dabo tells us more about the intensive training program aimed at raising the professional profile of the Gambia Armed Forces.
Yes, the course is very important and interactive, and it builds our capacity.
At the Gambia Armed Forces, efforts are being strongly propelled to raise skill, expertise and professionalism amid a new drive seeking to equip the military with new capacities under the current security sector reform agenda. Saina Bijang for GRTS News.
The Federation of Gambia Muslim Students Organization on Monday began a week-long national youth camp under the theme Youth Empowerment Through Education. As Modujani reports, the program has benefited dozens of young people since its inception in 2011.
This year's edition marked the 8th since the Federation embarked on organizing a week camp. Several Muslim students are attending the event. The camp is aimed at enhancing their understanding to the values of life and also train them in leadership skills and self-esteem. It also sensitized them on tolerance in the face of conflict of ideas amongst others. In his opening remarks, the principal of Kotu Senior Secondary School, Lamin Sanyang, urged the participants to take advantage, as he said, youth have a great take in the advancement of the country.
We have a great stake in the advancement of this country. If we should all go astray, we'll be tied this country. But as we are like this, I believe we can all positively contribute to the advancement of this country. So I will urge myself, urge everybody to be steadfast. Let's never be discouraged, and then make sure we try to pull somebody towards us.
The camp director, Yankuba Jaju, elaborated on what necessitates the continuous conducting of the camp and his expectations at the end of the events.
It's our mandate, it's our responsibility to call our friends, our own people, our brothers and sisters, to call them, engage them in something meaningful. Because as we are speaking right now, we believe there are others who are engaged in so many other activities that we believe they are un-Islamic. So having these people here, calling them to be in such a gathering, we believe it's necessary, so that's why we have to call them, to give them something as Muslims.
Whilst participant Mariama Kante has been benefiting immensely for taking part in the youth camp.
I wouldn't trade this camp for anything. It has become so much more to me that even if I tell my father that there's a camp going on, he doesn't hesitate in paying for me to come. That is how much it means to me. It has elevated me. I have become a better student, a better person in the society, a better daughter to my parents, and alhamdulillah, a better Muslim. I just wish that they will touch everyone, every participant in here, just like they have touched me 5 years ago.
SIGAMSO is the umbrella body of all Islamic-based school associations in the Gambia. It started organizing a youth camp in 2011, which has been an annual event since then. Amongst its objectives are to promote Islam as well as promote moral and academic excellence. Reporting for GRTS, I am Modu Jan.
Time now to take our first break. When we return, we will look at news from outside our borders. Do stay with us.
This must be one of Mother Nature's greatest gifts. But there's something else it gives us. When we see such beauty, we want to share it with those we love. That's why we want you to see it, just as we see it now. LG OLED TV.
I'm tired of the same things, the same stress and the struggles every day. Time is money, you don't have time to delay. No more struggles every day. You don't need hustles and the long queue just to buy cash power. 737, don't suffer just to pay your bills. Know your balance and buy some goods. Send some money to your family. 737, access your account and get a mini statement. Get a checkbook, post up a check. Fast, secure, reliable. 737. You can be a doctor or a fisherman, teacher or a carpenter man. 737 is for everyone. Jamano Nepalenda, Kodolo Kola Yatoko, GT Banko, Pelenti Baba. Any time of the day, spend your money anywhere you are. Any time of the day, you want to get a loco.
Welcome back. And now in the international scene, in Zimbabwe, President Emerson Mnangagwa has reiterated that while farmers have a role to play in developing the agricultural sector. He made the comments at a meeting of the white community as part of his campaign ahead of the month-end elections. CGTN's Farai Mauta reports from Harare in Zimbabwe.
Participate in the rebuilding of the agricultural sector. A chaotic land reform program disrupted agricultural production here and led to Zimbabwe's international isolation. Since becoming president in November last year, Mnangagwa has been on a campaign to mend relations with the international community. Mnangagwa said there is no room for discrimination in the new era that his administration has ushered in. He's also promised to engage Zimbabweans of all walks of life, and his meeting with the different groups is seen as fulfilling that pledge. He called for racial unity ahead of an election described by many as the most important in the country since independence. Democratic freedoms following the resignation of former President Robert Mugabe have seen the registration of more than 55 political parties and a record 23 presidential candidates who are contesting for the leadership of the country. Farai Makutuya, CGTN, Harare, Zimbabwe.
Elsewhere, when President Z arrives in Johannesburg, he'll be visiting a city that's been transformed. Huge investments have gone into Joburg in recent years. The entire neighborhood has been revamped. One of them is Maboneng. Not so long ago, it was a rundown suburb plagued by crime. Now, Forbes magazine has just ranked it as one of the coolest places in the world. CGTN's Voldi Karasi went to check it out.
Thousands make their way here to enjoy the vibe, the craft, the food, the bohemian lifestyle. This has all sprung up in less than a decade, a partnership between the city and private business. So much is going on, it's easy to get lost here.
A lot of people come to Maboneng from different places in the world. They want to see new things, they want to see creativity. What makes it special is that anybody, you can dress up the way you want to, you can speak the way you want to. Like, it allows you to be an artist.
Our first stop is the market on Main, started 7 years ago. It's now Johannesburg's leading urban food and design market. Maboneng draws a wide variety of business. What they have in common is their quirkiness, their creativity.
It's all artisans, it's all people bringing their own trade, trading under their own names. So it just makes it exceptionally authentic. And I think that is very hard to find, where you have a sustainable collection of authentic artisans, whether they're making clothing, making food, or architects, business folk, and yeah, it's just a really nice collection of entrepreneurs, I guess.
Outside the market, there's just as much to explore. Former derelict buildings transformed into designer apartments. More than 1,000 of them at the moment, and more to come.
So all of the investment that's gone into Maboneng to date, which has gone in over about a period of 10 years, there's more than twice as much going in the next 2 years. So the face of Maboneng is going to change dramatically within the next 2 years, and we're obviously very excited about that. There's going to be more restaurants, more residential apartments coming in, more businesses coming in, and it's going to be an exciting place to watch grow and change. It's city living at its best. There's a proper community where, you know, if I walk down to go get a cup of coffee, I'm going to be greeted by at least sort of 4 or 5 retailers who are going to ask me how Jacob is, they ask me how my wife is, and you just don't get that very often.
As communities go, Maboneng is unusual, a melting pot of new ideas and talent. It's also a community that's bet on the revival of their city.
If you want to have a business meeting, you can come to Maboneng. If you want to show off your designs, everything. If you want to show off your art, come to Maboneng.
Voldi Karolsa, CGTN, Johannesburg, South Africa.
Maboneng, remarkable suburb in South Africa. We will take another short break. The news continues in just a moment.
Not now. I promised to buy cash power today.
Stop complaining and use your Africell line to get us cash power.
My Africell line? Africell?
Oh yes, with your Africell line. To buy your cash power, simply dial *777# to access your Africell money account and choose Buy Cash Power. Register your meter number, enter the amount of cash power you want to buy, and then enter your Africell money PIN code to confirm your transaction.
But how can I refill my Africell money account?
You can top up your Africell money account with no extra charges from any Africell outlet near you, or simply at any shop or bank where you see a sign that says Africell money available here. Buy your cash power now straight from your Africell money account. Cheapest cost ever. That's 50% less than the fees of other operators. A price nobody dares to match. Where Africell goes, nobody dares to follow. Dares to follow.
Welcome back. That brings us to the end of the news, but before we go, a quick look at the day's main stories. President Adama Barrow has promised to make farming more rewarding for farmers in the country as he continues his tour in the Central and Lower River regions. Women councillors in the Carnifing municipality have reaffirmed their commitment to support government's development agenda as they visit the Vice President at State House. Zimbabwe's President Emerson Mnangagwa has said that while farmers in the country have a role to play in developing the agricultural sector, this as he layers support ahead of the 2018 elections. And Chinese President Xi has visited Maboneng, a suburb in Johannesburg, recently ranked as one of the coolest places in the world. That's the news from GRTS. Join us again at the top of the hour, precisely at 10 p.m. for another bulletin.